Okay, we just got done seeing a documentary called, was it They Shall Not Grow Old?
Yeah.
And it's a World War I documentary about World War I combat, and the footage is all like restored and colorized. They even like lip read. Then they did like lip reading on the guys that are shown in the combat footage and reenacted what they were saying. It was a pretty good documentary.
Yeah, done by Peter Jackson, in case you didn't know, who was very interested in World War I. His grandfather served in World War I. And so this is kind of like, it's kind of cool, like what they did. They took, you know, all of these hours of footage from the First World War, which of course was black and white and silent. Like I said, they added sound, they added color, and he kind of did it the way, I mean, because, you know, World War I, it's like a huge topic. Yeah. But I like the way they approached it, where he kind of was just like, well, I wanted to take like the general experience.
For like infantry armor.
Of infantry, like a British soldier, and what they would have experienced, like from when they joined up to, you know, all the way through the war, and like what happened after. Yeah, the 4 years. Because he said he thought that was probably, you know, fairly generic in a way that like other soldiers probably experienced the same thing, no matter what country they were fighting in, or fighting for rather. I also like that they what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. It
was a good documentary. It wasn't really historical in terms of like they weren't telling you, you know, giving you the years and what specific battles happened when. It's not really that kind of a documentary. It's more like just a kind of an homage of what combat was like for your average guy.
It was. I liked it because it was actually kind of. It wasn't like that, and he even said there was like a little documentary, like another sub-documentary, like if you stay after the credits, and like he's kind of explaining how they restored the footage and like what he wanted to do with it. And I like that he's like, I didn't want this to be like an academic or like a historical type, because you can kind of get that anywhere. He's like, I wanted this to be like humanized, or it was like a personal experience. You can like actually feel what it was like for the people that were there. Oh, what I was gonna say was I like that the only voiceovers that they have were veterans, people that were actually there, that were actually on the Western Front. They don't have any like historians talking. They don't have any reenactments.
They had recordings of the guys that actually did.
They had recordings of the guys that were actually
interviews,
there. And it was just like kind of cut together all through the whole thing, and they were talking about their personal experiences and stuff like that. And it was kind of, like I said, cut together all these different voices, like in a way that sort of made it like a narrative. You know what I mean? But yeah, I thought it was amazing. And horrifying.
For me, you know, other than the actual quality of the footage and you know, the colorization process, and for me, it wasn't all that surprising. You know, being ex-infantry myself and knowing what, you know, because I know a lot about World War I. So for me, it wasn't really anything new, but it was good to see.
I mean, you know, like I said, I really like, and honestly, like a lot of the most interesting stuff I thought was just kind of like the guys talking about like just their day to day, like what their day to day stuff was like once when they joined up, and like what it was like being in the trenches when nothing was happening, and
what it was like to get out and go home. A lot of these are just universal. So I mean, that's just the way it is. You come out of like a hard service background like that, you know, and you go back to civilian life. You are a different species. You know, they talk
and
about
one of
that.
them actually said, used almost those exact words, actually. But I liked that that kind of aspect of it. It really like humanized the entire experience, and you know what these individuals had experienced going.
They came back from the war, and nobody wanted to hire them and stuff like that. They didn't want them around.
You know, because I mean, the other
nobody understood them.
Well, they hadn't seen like all these horrifying things that these poor guys had seen. I mean, these kids, like a lot of them were very young when they joined up, because they weren't real. You know, they said a lot of them were 15, 16 years old.
They had lied to get
their
in
age, and they just like got in. So they was like teenagers. You know what I mean? And then they were seeing people's the heads getting blown off, and, like right next to them and stuff. So but I really it's weird because it's kind of like spotty the way they're showing it. It's like they showed it like once or twice a week, like for the past couple weeks, because we've been trying to see it like for the last few weeks, but they're always like
most times it's not showing it, but then
they'll show it like one time, like on a weird day or something like that. So we finally got around to seeing it today. It was a good movie. I liked it a lot. I could have watched that all day actually.
It's fun to watch. Okay, just got done seeing one called Destroyer. That was Nicole Kidman, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and it was. I think I'd call this film noir, huh? Kind of like a modern
like
film
noir. Like with a modern spin on it.
Yeah, about a federal agent, a female federal agent that picks up an old who left the FBI to become I think she worked for LAPD.
Yeah.
And working for the LAPD, she picks up an old case that caused her to leave the FBI. She finally kind of wrap up loose ends. It was going after a guy who killed her partner.
Yeah.
And then
when they were undercover.
When they were undercover.
Yeah.
And as the whole story unfolds, you find out more and more about this partner and the situation they had, back then. And she's almost kind of like a bad cop, really, in a way.
Yeah, she's a very morally ambiguous character. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was the acting was pretty good. It was kind of a well-filmed movie. It was shot well. It had really good music. Real good
that was something I did
to it.
Notice. The music was really good.
Very shitty and crappy locations, which kind of fit the story. A lot of like they can really nasty drug houses and
sketchy,
scuzzy shit. Tone of the movie very negative, very down. It was,
not a feel-good flick.
No,
but I actually really liked it.
I figured you'd like it.
I had been wanting to see this because, check this out, this movie started we had been seeing trailers for it months ago.
Yeah.
And it said it was supposed to start in December, but we didn't get it
until never got it here.
This week, and then suddenly, finally, it started playing. Now, I should note this was directed by Kieron Kusama, who also directed Girl Fight, which I haven't seen, but she also directed a movie called The Invitation, which I think is still on Netflix, and go check that shit out because that movie's amazing. It's like a horror movie. So this one, if you like that movie, I think you would like this one. It's a different genre, kind of. It's not really a horror movie, but
I think it's noir.
Yeah,
noir.
It was kind of like a modern day, like a real karate, there was film noir type.
Certain aspects of the movie kind of reminded me of the very original Blade Runner at certain times.
Yeah, I can see what you're getting.
But instead, in modern days, and going back into the 90s, because there's a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah, I think there was a 15 or 16 year gap because they showed her when she was younger. If you've seen the trailers, they made her look like hell on toast, man. Because she looked, not only is she supposed to be 15, 16 years older, but she's also kind of a drunk, and she's had all this
bad health.
Yeah, and shit like that. So they made her look super shitty, in the present day. But then they show her younger, when she was undercover, back a long time ago. Yeah. So you have that whole thing going on. I like the way it was structured because they kind of went back and forth between the past and the present. Yeah. Where it's they'd have a scene in the present and then it would show the past thing. So they were commenting on it. You know what I mean?
She likes that kind of stuff. I don't like those story structures. I like it to be very linear. That was one of the things that kind of bothered me because I was sometimes losing track of what was supposed to be happening in the present and what was supposed to be happening in the past. I'm like, wait, but I thought that guy was dead. Oh, okay, this is a flashback.
Although, I said, I didn't really have that much trouble because the people looked so much older and different that you could tell immediately. Especially when they showed ones with her because she obviously looked a lot different.
Not a bad movie, not my cup of tea. I really wouldn't recommend it if you want to have a good time. I thought it was going to be bad.
Like I said, it's not a good time movie, but it's good. Yeah, it's going to make you feel bad. It's a feel bad time
I liked it,
but I really liked it though.
I kind of like movies that kind of are escapist. This one will not let you escape. This one is
this one just punches you with realism right in your face. That. But like I said, I like that sometimes too.
Yeah.
So
all right.
I really liked it.
Okay, we just got done seeing The Prodigy.
Yes.
Which was a horror movie. I thought it was going to be kind of a psychological horror movie, kind of like the stereotypical bad kid movie. And it kind of was, but then as the movie goes on, you find out that that's not really what it's about.
Yeah, I was going to say what movie it reminded me of, but I better not give it away.
It'll give it away. Let's just say that it has a paranormal element to it.
Yeah.
It's you're going to see elements from some really classic movies.
I was doing the same. Yeah, I said like I said one in particular, but I'm not going to mention that.
Can't say because I don't want to steal the movie's thunder.
Yeah.
Had a tight story. It's pretty good. Shot well. Acting was good, real good, excellent. Whoever scored this movie was great. Had a really good
I
score.
did like the score a lot.
Yeah. And
very creepy. It had some really good like atmospheric, like just creepy like imagery. That kid was creepy as fuck.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He really did. Like you could totally buy that he was like totally innocent too at the same time, but also creepy as fuck. Yeah,
the whole movie, I would say, well above average.
I actually liked it a lot. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was like really. Like I said, it had a really good, like, tense atmosphere, and you weren't really sure. Like I said, I just thought it was, like you, I just thought it was like some Choose a Bad Kid movie, which it kind of is, but it kind of has something else going on in there, too, so. Yeah,
and then they definitely didn't wrap it up totally. I mean, it's wide open for a sequel if they wanted it.
Yeah.
Story's not done.
Yeah.
But, and it's almost kind of like it's trying to establish a story or a series is what it looks like. It looks like you could really do that.
Maybe. Well, the thing is, I feel like a lot of movies do that now, like just in case, like they do really well, and like somebody comes along and says, "Hey, we need to do a sequel to that because it did really well, and we weren't expecting it."
The only thing that I could probably criticize the movie for is that the ending didn't have a big climactic ending. It had an ending, but it wasn't a big climactic ending like I kind of like.
Yeah.
With my 80s background. I like you to like kill the monster 2 or 3 times. It comes back and no, it's not done. Then it comes back again.
And then you blow it up.
And then you blow it. I'd like some shit like that,
It did kind of have a big ending, like a big kind of but I can see what you're saying.
But it was still good.
I didn't find it anticlimactic, but
it was still good. It's kind of a highbrow movie in a way.
You think?
Yeah. It's not. Well, we're not talking, Poltergeist. You're not talking Chucky or anything. You know what I mean?
True.
You're not talking, it was kind of highbrow for the genre. I mean, you're talking along the lines of Exorcist, Amityville Horror,
The Omen.
So I'm putting it in that.
It was very similar to those. It gave me that kind of vibe, like that classic, like 70s, early 80s horror movie kind of vibe. Even though it didn't look like a movie set back then necessarily. No. It didn't.
It's not shot that way.
It's not shot that way. It wasn't set back then. But for some reason, just the way it was structured, the storyline, stuff like that reminded me very
reminiscent
much
of those.
Of movies from that era, which I like, if you guys watch the show, the 70s and early 80s is like my favorite. My favorite time period for horror movies, and this reminded me very strongly of a lot of the best ones from then.
So I recommend it. It's good.
If you like horror movies, you check it out, and especially if you like evil kid movies, because that kid was creepy as shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Seriously.
All right.